No! Oh no, my eyes. My eyes. What happened? Hello and welcome back to... I'm just getting into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan and you're watching my World of Sport Wrestling Review, Week 5. So we're at the midway point now. And with this episode we had 2 semi-finals, a destruction, and the Women's Championship Battle Royal. Yeah. So kicking us off this week we had Alpha-Bad, which is Kip Sapien and Yestin Reese, versus BT Gunn and Stevie Boy. This week's gone so wrong. So even before the match started, the show was off great. We had Kip taking over the mic and definitely this week cementing his place as one of the top mic guys in WS Wrestling. Really grinding on the audience's skin, as well as Bill. So yeah, let's just get into this. I'm going to try and push through because today just doesn't want to work for me. So like I say, it was this match, and Alpha Bad just didn't want to wait to start the match, attacking Stevie Boy and BT Gunn before the match had even begun when they were still in their entrance. The match did good at doing one thing with 2 teams. So at first it was once Stevie Boy and BT Gunn got their advantage back, they got the advantage back and kept it over Kip, and Kip could do nothing. And it became almost a handicap match. But then once we had the momentum flip and Alpha-Bad were back on top, it became, again, it was like almost a handicap as Yestin and Kip just wouldn't allow Stevie any space, and it was just Stevie getting a beat down. There was tag, beat down, and yeah. So it was almost like these 2 teams going in with the same strategy, and only one team could come out on top, and in this case it was Alpha-Bad, so obviously the strategy worked better for them, and we get more Kip love. Sounds like a Pokemon. Match number 2 was what I thought was meant to be a handicap match between Slater, Kid and Crater, but it turned out to have been a triple threat match because Gabe and Slater faced off with each other, and it was a really good one-on-one match with Crater just kind of on the outside. Like, even though Kid was clearly injured, he had the bandages and stuff he talked about before the match. But yeah, like, even though like he had these injuries and he must have been less than 50%, he still put on a good show against Slater. But once Crater brought himself into the match, it was over. The Crater just beat them both down. There was no more somebody else getting an advantage. It was just Crater until the bell rang. And so yeah, 2 really good men can beat Crater, and Crater's dominance is just forever rising. So we'll see where he goes. And so the third match of the night was the other semi-finals tag team match. It was Bromance, Adam Max and Nathan Cruz, versus Grado and British Bulldog Jr. or Dave Boy Smith Jr. I'm struggling to speak, and you wouldn't believe that notes right there, just off the camera, just behind the phone. My notes are right there, and I'm struggling to remember things. You wouldn't believe it. So yeah, it was just, in the beginning, it was just British Bulldog Jr.'s match. And the other, like, Cruz was in the ring, and Bulldog Jr. showed power over him. Then Cruz got the tag on Maxted, and again, Maxted thought he was doing well, but Bulldog Jr.'s power just dominated, and Grado did get in the match for a little bit, showing a little bit of offense, but then he had his knee tweak, which then sent the match spiraling. Cruz went on a evil "I will slaughter you" streak, and Max Ted was just like, "Bro, man, I don't need to see this." And he kind of listened to Cruz's orders, which again, it's meant to be a tag team, not a "I have power over you." So who knows where the bromance goes after the finals? Hopefully, I want to see them win the tag titles, but I also now want to see Cruz and Max Ted go after each other, because it's the angel and the devil. So yeah, again, it was a good match, but it became very much about Grado's injury and just going after that, and Cruz being a bad man. So yeah, again, hopefully next week we have Alpha Bad versus Bromance. I really want Bromance to win, but I don't see Max Head sticking around, so I'll be happy with Alpha Bad. We'll see what happens next week. I'm still happy, but I'm happy either or. So again, next week, the finals, we'll find out what happened. Yeah, in the final match of the night, it was the Women's Battle Royal, all the women's roster. It was champion Kaylee Ray, Viper, B. Priestley, Aisha, and Casey Owens. In what was, again, it was a good match, great match. We saw the two powerhouses just, again, it was teased last week, which is what brought the Battle Royal, and they were just clashing. But the other three women were always there, making sure that they were still known to be in the match. And I think the most surprising thing that came out of this match for me was B. Priestley being the second eliminated. It works when you watch it, because when you watch the order, you can kind of see how it was meant to happen that way. You can kind of see. I know what I'm trying to say. It was weird as a B. Priestley fan, and knowing how good she is, to see her second eliminated. But when you look at the other women in the match, it all kind of it lined up how it should have. I think that all makes sense. Again, I hope you understand. But yeah, again, it was a good match with Kaylee Ray coming out on top, because nobody's beating Kaylee Ray. Whether, let's say, Battle Royal, all four of the women going after her, nobody can stop it. We had two powerhouses in this match. We had Casey Owens, who I'm not too familiar with, but looked really good. And then, again, B. Priestley, who really mean, really vicious. She's a monster, because why be human when you can be a monster? Or it's something like, I'm sorry, I just butchered that. I'll put it up here. That will make more sense. Again, so yeah, Kaylee Ray ended the night still holding up the championship, and that was the mid-season of World of Sport Wrestling. We have 5 more episodes to go, and next week it was British Bulldog Jr. and Rampage facing off for the WS Championship and the Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals to crown the first ever Tag Team Champions. So we will see what happens next week. And by next week I mean, what was it, Wednesday? In 3 days. 3 days. So yeah, a bit of a late one. Let's just go with it. Again, it was a good show. I don't want to make a promise on this one, but I might make a video just talking about the first 5 episodes as a whole and how I feel World of Sport Wrestling has came back. So again, that might happen. I don't want to say it will. I don't want to say it won't. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So if it does, I'll see you on that one. If it doesn't, I'll see you on whatever the next video is. So with that, I say bye.